It is Sunday, August 15th. And, listen, there is no easy way about Afghanistan. Staying or going, there are no good choices. Um, and, it, you know, it doesn't matter what administration finally, pulled the plug on our occupation there, the same result was going to happen. This isn't a failure of the Obama or Biden administration or the Trump administration. It's an example of the failure of our efforts there over the last 20 years. We didn't fix anything. And it was Trump, the former twice impeached, disgraced president, who invited the Taliban to Camp David and brokered a deal to leave, I think, by May of this year. So even if that had been honored and, it was his administration that had done this, the same result would have happened. Do I wish that we could have done something better and more preemptive in terms of helping people out before all this happened? That would have been good. It doesn't, there's still millions of people that are in that country that are going to suffer under a totalitarian rule. But, I don't understand how how we're supposed to fix that. Afghanistan's been a problem long before we ever got there. It'll be a problem long after we leave. I'm not an expert in international relations. I don't know what the answer is, but it is weird. The GOP always says, we shouldn't be the world's police, but then at the same time, says we're supposed to be fixing the world's problems. So that's confusing to me. Meghan, you took this opportunity to invoke your father, which is in a way that you don't usually do, and that you spoke for him. First of all, I don't think it's a very good idea for anybody to ever speak for the dead. I don't care what your relationship was or how close you were. No one can ever say the words that someone else would have said if they're not there to say them. It's just, it's not the best idea. But you said that he would be raging against the Biden administration and raging in public about this. You used raging. And, your father had a lot more grace than you do, and isn't really known for raging in public. He could use strong language and give a strong message, but raging is something he may have done privately, but it's certainly not something that he would be categorized as doing on a regular basis, or really about much of anything in the public realm. So I'm not sure that that's the best characterization about what would be happening. But in the family in war department, you got outdone this weekend by your hero and fellow Republican Liz Cheney, who was complaining about the Biden administration's pulling out of Afghanistan. And what a fucking hypocrite. Liz, look in the family tree. Liz Cheney, your father, is the reason we're there. Your warmongering war criminal father, Liz Cheney, is the reason we took our eyes off of Afghanistan and went into Iraq under the terrorists of September 11th umbrella, when that had nothing to do with it, but because they were all butthurt about the first Iraq war and the Bush family water interests and all the other bullshit that took us into Iraq, that took our eyes off of Afghanistan, and why it took so long to find bin Laden. And it was all ego and money and power driven. But it's just insane for you to not recognize that your family is the reason we're there, why this mess even exists. The nerve. But I don't understand the whole GOP mentality about war and retaliation and vengeance. There's, you know, there's a strong attachment to guns. There's a strong attachment to violence. I mean, just as simple as the argument about masks. When people are threatening violence and actually causing violence at school board meetings, about defying people wanting to help protect their kids. It boggles my mind. This is supposed to be the party of family values and right to life and pro-life, I guess it is. But you don't want to protect them after they're out of the womb. I don't get it. The hypocrisies of the Republican Party are just beyond the pale. It would be nice if we could have helped more people out of Afghanistan, specifically the people that our allies that worked with us, and there's still millions of people that are going to be stuck under this totalitarian rule. But how do we help at least some of them? And this is another point where I'm a little confused on the GOP stance, because I thought the GOP didn't want immigrants or refugees coming into the country. Or is it just the ones that come from the southern border? Because, the ones that are coming from Central America are also coming from war-torn countries where the United States caused a lot of the problems that they're running from. So the logic doesn't make a lot of sense. If we're going to welcome these refugees, why we're so insistent that we're not going to welcome the others. Again, consistency is not really part of the GOP platform. But, who's to say? Maybe, Meghan, you and Liz are out to brunch, sipping on bottomless mimosas, toasting your dads. Who knows?